It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's good. It's a great time of year.
I'm so excited. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Fat Mascara. It's a podcast about beauty culture hosted by me, Jennifer Sullivan.
And me, Jessica Matlin. Full names today. Full names.
That's right, because it is
Full Throttle.
Our annual
Naughty
and nice.
Which list will you be on? We actually don't name like proper names. Like we're not that stupid.
Don't worry. If you're new to the show, we know we have some new people because I've been getting all your comments and your likes and your subscribes. Thank you. Here's the deal. I don't know when we started doing this. Naughty and Nice is our annual holiday special. It's an end of the year wrap up. It is, you get two the top minds in beauty here to analyze the trends of the year. Also, we just get to bitch and moan to each other about like things we liked and didn't like in real time. This is, it's your end of year trend recap, which might send you into 2025 with some ideas about beauty, but like news stories, products, trends, movements, episodes we did, things that speak to us that make us happy this holiday season, that make us maybe not so happy this holiday season.
It's a time to get reflective. I don't know about you, but like I get a little reflective at the end of the year, for better or worse. What about you?
For Jess, fall is for organizing.
Fall is for organizing.
December's for reflection.
Yeah. Summer, I'm not sure what summer's about. Summer's for complaining. And spring is for I get energetic in spring.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. So we're going to do this similarly to last year's or the way you might have heard it before. Jess and I are both bringing a naughty and a nice list. I have like 5 or so on my list.
Are they even?
Some naughty.
Are they split even?
Well,
evenly?
They can't be. The number 5 does not split evenly.
Or are you like 4, 1,
I ended up with 2 naughty and 3 nice. How about you?
I tilted more naughty this year, but
then we're balanced.
Yeah. We as a group are balanced. Yeah, as a team.
You guys, we really planned this. And obviously we've reviewed all of this with each other. But no, that's the fun of naughty and nice. We don't compare notes beforehand.
No.
So we might end up with some of the things that are the same, but it's just going to be a blast. Buckle up. There's so much. And just so you know, housekeeping, this is our last episode of 2024. We will have amazing Best of Fat Mascara interviews coming through the holidays to keep you entertained. And then we'll be back in January with all new news episodes with me and Jess on Wednesdays, Fridays for interviews, and our lovely contributors, Julie and Garrett, joining us sometimes on Wednesdays.
Very excited about some of our special guests for next year. So
okay,
let's hop to it. Let's get to it. I want to know what's on your list. Okay. What is in your Santa stack? What is in your Santa sack? Kick it off, Jen. Is it a naughty or a nice?
I think I'll kick off with a naughty because I think you're going to have thoughts and they might be nice. I don't know. Let's see. Something we haven't had a chance to talk about yet, which is very much happening in 2024 right now, is the Pantone color of the year for next year. The prediction, which comes out in 2024. So this just dropped.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Did you see it?
I did. We were talking about it at the office the other day. We were talking about it for a
all anybody could talk about in beauty and fashion. The color of the year is Mocha Mousse. I feel like I'm on Las Culturistas. I'm about to give my 30-second rant. But here's why it's on my naughty list. It's giving cat food, like underdone chicken, like dirty sheets. It's so beige. And if you would like me to be a little bit more helpful in my critical analysis,
I think if you want to be a little bit more vulgar, a little bit more
no, that's
disgustingly
the end of vulgarity.
Okay.
Here's my issue. I don't think it's new. I don't think it's fresh and forward looking. My issue with this color is it feels very much like the brown lip liner trend of 2024. Very nice trend, by the way. That would be on the nice list if I was making extras. And it feels like Skims color palette that's been hot for the last 3 years, that mauve-y, beigey.
You think it's reactive. You don't think it's forward-looking.
That's why they pay you the big bucks, Matlin. That's exactly it. I didn't know how to put it into words. I think it's not forward-looking enough, and I don't love the color.
I get it. I also think on the note of it being very reactive, to me, it feels very, and slap me with a noodle for saying this, but it's like quiet luxury, you know?
A mocha mousse colored noodle?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think the mousse is I like mousse. I love any chocolate mousse. I love that kind of dessert. But mousse and that color and like without context, it's giving my cat has IBS, which she does.
And you thought I was vulgar, but I said cat food. It's like, yeah, it's just so.
I don't think anyone is going to ever forgive me for sharing that information.
No, I'm sorry about your cat.
But like,
by the way.
But the thing is, I do love that color. And I think a lot of the fashion crowd loves that color because it is luxury. It is like, if you look at Zara for the past like year, it's like all shades of that color because it feels very elegant, luxury. It's not screaming.
Yeah, but oxblood is luxury.
Yeah.
There's other luxury colors.
No, I like the color. I do, but I do feel like in that little square thing without seeing like the fabrication, it doesn't feel nice. It's just like,
yeah.
So I'm with you.
All right.
I do like in the past, we were scrolling through like a Women's Wear Daily had like a nice, through the years, like different Pantone. They've had some great ones. Like the yellow, which came out of nowhere, or like the ultraviolet, or like going back, it even had some like gray, like things that made you think. And my cat is in the background right now. She's like, I heard you talking. That was nobody's business.
She's skulking off.
Yeah, she's like,
do her business. And
cats do know. They do know when you're talking about them.
Well, she didn't like it.
I'm sorry. It's so sad, by the way, if anyone wants to offline about that. So I feel like no, it's so upsetting. Yeah, it's not giving beauty, and I think it's too late to give fashion.
Yep.
But look, we're talking about it. Like I go on for another 10 minutes. But anyway.
I wanted to put it on my naughty list, and I also wanted to know what you thought about it. And spot on. We're in agreement.
Yeah, we're the same. But I look forward to what they do every year. So keep going, Pantone. I love what you do.
Nice list. Pantone doing it color of the year.
Naughty, yeah, exactly.
Mocha Mousse, this colors.
If you're not familiar with this franchise, we can't go full whole hog on anything. We always have like a but. Okay.
Welcome. All right, your turn. What's up next?
All right. So on my naughty list, you knew this was going to come up. So let's just get out of the way. The constant discussion about Lindsay Lohan's new face.
Like on Fat Mascara last week?
Yeah, I know you guys talked about it. So I don't want to like belabor the point. But she looks amazing. Yes, I want to know everything. I love Lindsay Lohan. Does she look like how she used to look? I'm not here to like dissect this or judge and all this stuff. But I've never heard, like, besides the obvious major current events, which we like do not need to go into. This is not a political show. But is it? Is it not? Okay, that can be debated.
Beauty culture touches on that
yeah,
stuff
exactly.
Sometimes. It has to, yeah.
I feel like it's sort of, and I don't want to redo everything you guys said, but like, I've never seen so many people. It's almost like the Willy Wonka golden ticket came out and like every woman is clamoring to be like, where can I find this? Or like they want to be, it used to be like when like Jane Fonda got a new face. I don't know if she's ever admitted to it, but like when Jane Fonda clearly had something done, or like Demi Moore, we'll get to her in a little while. When Moore,
she got ripped for G.I. Jane.
She came out like on the runway, or like that actually was a little more recent. But like when these women came out and they looked so different, or like Renee Zellweger, when she had clearly something done, it wasn't immediately aspirational. It was like, this person had that thing done. We can converse about it, but it wasn't like, I will sell my soul or give me the number or if only me. And now I hear not only people who are like in my age group or even 20 years older, but even girls who are like 20 years younger than me lusting after this. And I'm just not comfortable with where this is going. And yes, I don't expect everyone to be talking about the Sudan in the same way that they're talking about this, but the conversation is so disproportionate that it concerns me.
Okay. So naughty is not Lindsay Lohan's new face. It's the way we all are reacting to Lindsay's new face.
It's like we want it in this way. And I'm saying we, I don't mean every person listening.
We, the collective.
The collective. I know not everyone. Somebody like, I don't give a crap. Or they might not think she looks great. I don't know. It's almost like this is attainable. Give me the number.
Like it's an it bag. When it's a human anatomy.
Yeah,
That's it.
And she's also
we're objectifying it. Like it's a purchasable item instead of a person.
And she's also not old. That's the thing. She's not old.
Yeah. Yeah. I could say so much more. But I feel like I'd be on the naughty list if I kept talking about it.
But it's like a bellwether. And like there's so many other big things happening in the culture, not beauty culture, just the culture, things that are crazy important.
But maybe that's it, Jess. Maybe it is because all of the bad things happening in the world, all of the wars, the economy, things that people are worried about, we need something
The distraction,
stupid, a
beauty.
stupid distraction. And if it's Lindsay Lohan's face, otherwise.
We have to look at something beautiful. We need the distraction. It's like RuPaul says, like, if you look at the darkness too much, you'll die. So look at like the magic and the beauty. We need to look at Lindsay Lohan.
Is that a RuPaul saying? I love that.
Oh, no, it's a beautiful quote. He is somebody who I would die to have on the podcast.
Not quoting perfectly, but just the sentiment. Yeah.
But I don't think we can ignore, and I get worried sometimes on this show, and I wonder if people who if they don't like me and they listen to the show, but they put up with me, I wonder if I sound annoying because I'm so kind of, but there are big problems. And it's like, well, yeah, there are always going to be big problems, but you cannot deny that there's an insane amount of focus on stuff like that right now.
Yeah. And like I said, and maybe that is because there are big problems. So
it's interesting. I'm not agreeing with it. I think it's a good theory, though. Okay.
Okay. So 2 naughties. Should I go nice then, I guess?
Go nice. By the way, I do think she looks amazing, and I would love to know who did her work because I'm
Look at you. Okay.
Not about
a
it.
Nice.
Okay.
A nice.
A
Do you
nice.
want my nerdy science corner nice or a more artsy nice? I have 2.
My brain hurts. Go artsy.
Okay, let's go artsy. I want to give a nice to contrast makeup theory. Have you been clocking this trend, Jess?
What?
Their contrast makeup. So this is why you come to our podcast. So this started like early. She's been doing it for a while, but it's really picked up steam lately. There's this makeup artist in France. Her name's Alienne Or, and her whole TikTok is about describing people's contrast of their faces. So if you're a low contrast person, your lips, eyebrows, eyes, skin are sort of very similar in tone, medium contrast somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
A high contrast person might have dark skin, platinum blonde hair, or fair skin, dark hair, strong brows.
Okay.
You get the idea. So she has a filter that she allows people to put over them and then puts them in black and white.
Okay.
And lets you kind of see, oh, I'm a high contrast person. When you put me in black and white, I'm black and white. Whereas a low contrast person in black and white has a wash of grays. You get the idea. So then when she talks about makeup, it's not prescriptive. It's not like high contrast person, wear blue. It's more about how you can work with your face to adjust your contrast to give a look. Like a high contrast person often looks great in a really strong red lip because it balances.
Like a winter. Is this just winter, spring?
No, because you could be platinum blonde but have tan skin. You have more contrast, but you might be a spring. You know what I'm saying? It's not. She mentions the season color theories sometimes as she's talking about it. But the 2 reasons I really like this are, one, you know how we always talk about how when makeup artists do makeup, they just have this thing. They look at a face and they just kind of know. And it's hard to get them to put that into words. How many makeup artists have we interviewed where we're like, but how do you know?
Yeah, I think they just it's a sensibility.
It's a sensibility of balance, the way an artist proportions, all that. What I really like is trying to teach you kind of how her brain's working when she's looking at a face.
Okay.
She put it into a very, regimented thing because it probably plays well on the internet, but it's not so prescriptive in a TikTok trend where I'm putting a serum drip on my face. She's educating, and I like that she's trying to let us in on the secret. The other thing I like, Jess, you don't have to buy anything. It's playing with the makeup you have in new ways and using it to your advantage.
I'm going to try it.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm getting out of it. I think I already kind of looked at my own face the way that she talks about, but I think it's really good for people that are new to makeup or still trying around with makeup or their looks have changed. Maybe you dyed your hair and you're like, something's off with my makeup right now and I'm not sure what it is. Maybe your contrast level changed when you dyed your hair.
Well, I have to say, and this is not this woman, but this is what I think she's getting at. I remember Trini Woodall, who I think is one of the most genius people I've ever encountered. She said that women often do their makeup, so she came up with her line for a lot of reasons, but one of them was she often meets a lot of women in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, who they're like, my look doesn't look right anymore. And why they're doing their makeup, why it doesn't look right is because their contrast levels, I don't know if she used that term, but have changed because Jen, we were just talking about this right before the podcast, your brows change, even your lash line
Maybe your skin's getting a little darker because you have some pigmentation to your skin, but your hair's getting lighter because some grays are going in.
Right? All of that. Your lip line sure as hell changes. Jane Fonda
your lips
talked to
aren't
us
as
about
rosy
that.
and dark as they were when you were younger. Yeah.
but you're doing your makeup the way you did when you felt frankly, your hottest, right? So that, maybe not everyone, but some people felt really hot when they were in their 20s. They felt their
or your
best.
peak contrast level or whatever it is.
Peak contrast. Yeah, I feel like I always try to make sure everyone's included. But basically, most people feel like they're best in their 20s and 30s. They're most conventionally hottest. And then things change. So you're still doing your cat eye, your blush, whatever, your full face of foundation. And then that contrast does not work as your contrast levels change. So Trini is like changing the way people do their makeup, and you might not need 7 pounds of eyeliner anymore or whatever. I sure don't.
Yes, making my nice even nicer. I hadn't even thought of the aging discussion in that. Her theory applies to everybody of all ages, especially even when you're younger and first learning how to do makeup. You haven't been staring at your face for 20 years. You're just getting to know your features in that way. And I think there's people like her, like Trini, that are really good at telling you their secret sauce. Yeah. And I love people like that who don't gatekeep, but they also are really good at putting into words their artistry and like how it's happening. So I encourage you to check out our site. I'll link to it because, as you know, we always link to everything. But just this whole idea of contrast theory, I feel like we're going to see more of that.
I like that.
Makeup plays with that. And I think it's a nice way to think about it that makes it easier and more inclusive and more fun.
Yeah, I'm going to get into that. I'm really going to start
get into it. Also, she has a pleasing French accent. So, like anything she says, I'm like, oh yeah, it's true. Because she's saying it with a French accent.
Does not hurt. All right. I feel like I need to do a nice. Okay. Because I feel like I have like a little too many naughties. All right. So there was a piece in the Times and like 75 people sent it to me. It was like a podcast episode, but it was also in the magazine as well. It was called The Appeal of the Smaller Breast. Why are increasing numbers of younger women undergoing the cosmetic reduction surgery? So basically, there's been a big spike. This article ran in November. Well, for me, I've talked about this in the pod. I like wrote about this in Cosmo. This is like so old hat for me. But they talked about it being, this sounds obnoxious, it's old hat, but it's like every day girls go through puberty and they get breasts and they're comfortable with it. They go all shapes and sizes, but a lot of people are uncomfortable with it. And I'm happy to see that breast reduction surgery is becoming more normalized, because when I was 13, 14, it was the kitchen phone on the wall and my mom talking to a friend of a friend who knew somebody whose now 25-year-old daughter had breast reduction surgery on Long Island. And then she was going to tell me, like if she survived. And it was such a little bit more not common. So I've clearly, if you know the context clues, I've had it. And it was truly the best thing that's ever happened to me. I mean, obviously besides like having my daughter and all that, good stuff. But like one of the best things that I've ever done. The way the article is positioned, and sorry, I think it's actually just a straight podcast, but I remember seeing it like on the site and everything. But do listen to the podcast if you're interested. The way it was positioned is like women are taking back the male gaze. Fashion is different now, like since the pandemic. It's really good. Like the way that it's set up and produced is really good. It was like people are not wearing bras anymore, soft cups. Like they do the whole cultural like magazine style. These are the different factors. Women don't want to be objectified in the same way. All of that stuff is good and true. But at the end, it was like, but there could be another reason. And it was like, young women don't want to feel sexualized. And it's like, to me, that's like the top banana. That's like, that should be like numero uno. You're a young person. You don't want to feel like
looked at.
Exactly. So the back pain, the running, all of these things were like reason number one, reason number two. No, I feel, this is still a nice, okay? This is still a nice column, but I feel like the first thing should be that girls should be girls. Girls want to feel like girls. They don't want to grow up faster, and they don't want to be in like women's bodies before their time. And another thing I loved in the piece was like every single person, I felt so like, I've never heard this before. It was amazing to hear. It was like the people who got breast reductions, their first thing was like, they couldn't wait to go to a store and buy a regular bra. Just like, Of like a normal bra. I remember telling my mom, maybe even my dad, I can't wait to go to a store and buy a stupid cotton bra that has like popcorn on it or some kind of dumb print versus like,
The over-the-shoulder boulder holder.
exactly. It's like something for like a woman, like, like a grandma.
Was this all aimed at young people getting breast reduction surgery or just breast reduction surgery?
I think it was just breast reduction surgery in general.
You're just speaking with that lens because you had it when you were a teenager.
But I think that they were talking about, young people especially.
Okay.
But it was everybody. But I was really surprised by how that bit about people not wanting to be looked at was sort of like at the end of the piece.
Well, for you, it was like a primary, but it might be different for everyone, the reasons they do it.
Yeah.
I like that they went into that. The reasons aren't the same for everybody who's
No, they're not. And
too.
they're not the same. For some people, it is like excruciating back pain or it could be, who knows, whatever. It's a very personal decision. But when I saw this article, I was like, I'm glad that this is no longer kind of a like, oh, she's doing what?
Yeah.
I'm glad to see it's on the rise, and I'm really hoping that, I know that certainly medical insurance is a hot topic right now.
Right. I love that. Just one question. It's the appeal of the small breast, singular, is the title. Here's why I'm asking. I'd like,
Yeah, it's singular. It is singular.
It's so fashion, which speaks to me of who work. Yeah, it's like a pant. Like it's so fashion speaks to make it a singular, but it also makes it less medical and more about like the feelings behind it and the fashion of the time and the cultural trends of the time than if it were like breasts, which sounds like something from sex ed class.
That is a really astute observation.
Yeah, that's what you come to Fat Mascara for.
Yeah, the breast. Yeah, as if it's a fashion item. And it also kind of makes it like the objectified.
Yeah, it does objectify a bit, but I think the reasoning might be because we're not just talking about anatomy, we're talking about all the psychology and the cultural aspects that go into it.
And listen, there are a lot of people who are very happy who would never, like, they're like, I'm so comfortable with my larger breasts, but I'm so just the more if I saw this article when I was younger, I would have been taping it up on the refrigerator.
I know. The more we can talk about things that are taboo to make people feel better about their bodies, nice, all the way.
Yeah. So big, nice New York Times.
I love that. All right, let's take a quick break. I think we got through 4 already. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back. Okay, we're back from the break. So, Jess, you got a little Diet Coke. Are you ready for my science? Just want you refreshed.
This holiday season, let's go, go, go.
It's go, go, go.
Right?
All right, let's get naughty, shall we?
Right, no, I feel like disproportionately naughty this episode. So I'm sorry if I sound like a negative Nancy.
We just ended on a high note.
I know, but I only have a pack full of naughties.
Well, it is what it is. Oh, wait. No, mine's a nice.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's a nice. Okay. This year, AI and beauty was huge. Now, I did at first struggle. Is this naughty or nice? It's very much nice because I want to come at this the way one of my favorite episodes of the year came at it, which was my interview with Alex Box and talking about the future of tech and how we cannot not let the human be in technology. Fabulous episode. I'll link to it if you want to listen to her. She's more eloquent than I will ever be. But it was a huge year for AI and beauty. And I'll just give you 2 highlights that both happen to be scientific of things that happened in beauty this year. One is I think we talked about this in the news. There was a startup, Osmo. They use Google Cloud's AI technology to generate smells like we generate images and sounds. And the CEO of this company, his name's Alex Wichko, he explains, this is just so interesting to me. With smell, we have been missing something the other senses have, a map. Color has a map represented by the axes red, green, blue. Sounds are mapped by frequency, low to high. Nothing similar has existed for odors. So his company is using AI technology to map odors and also identify odors. Did you know there's thought to be, this is crazy to me, 40 billion molecules that have a scent? 40 billion.
How many have we smelled? Like how many in a lifetime?
100 million can be identified. So that's 0.25%. So we haven't even cracked the surface.
Where are the other ones? Like, have they just not been smelled here? Are they under
or
the
they
sea?
haven't been created. Like if a scientist makes a new molecule, they combine this and this, and now we have a new polypeptide. It might have a scent, right?
Does Firmenich know about this?
Yes, I'm sure. You know what? Like, you're using AI in all of the fragrance houses, but I thought this one was especially interesting. The other thing was in skincare. It's been alluded to for a while, like, oh, AI in skincare. And I think some of the brands are just like pretending they're using AI. We used AI, and like they just throw it in there. It sounds high tech, and all they have is like, test your own.
Who would do such a thing?
Skin dryness at home. I'm like, how is that AI? Like, there's no machine learning involved in that. You just sent in a swab from your cheek. Anyway, so the place where this will be the most interesting to me is the microbiome, because I've reported on this for a while, and all the experts I've ever talked to about the skin microbiome point out that when you have acne and other diseases, they see trends. Like the person with this acne has a microbiome that's high in X bacteria. The person with early dark spots has a microbiome that's low in this bacteria. But there are millions of bacteria and there's millions of people, so there's no way to know yet which bacteria do what. However, AI is working on that. And there's one company now, I didn't feel like blowing your mind with all of the research. This one's like,
Jen, please don't blow my mind.
I just love the idea that like we could be using this to help people get better skin. But for example, there's this company, Hello Biome. It's a B2B company, but basically they're helping brands use this. They use AI technology to study the microbiome so that, for example, a brand could do a clinical study without ever having to use humans.
Okay, now I'm interested.
And finally, the last thing you'll be really interested, I literally, on my notes for this, it's so fun. I have highlighted really big, Jess, I know you'll like this one. In case I had lost you in the first 2 minutes of me describing AI, I have a note with your name in it to like draw you back in. Here's what I think you're going to most like about this. We'll be able to develop human skin models. Why? And animal skin models. Why? So that we can finally do away with animal testing forever. I interviewed Krupa Kostalainen this year.
Can I pause for a second?
Yes.
They have models that are like not animal skin that are just like animal skin. Like those exist already.
They do. However, for example, in Europe, there are still cases where if a new ingredient is developed for skincare and there is not yet a history of clinicals behind it to do the efficacy safety testing, it's possible they might still have to use animals. So I interviewed Krupa Kostalainen. She's this cosmetic chemist.
They have to, or that's what they have decided?
No, they have to in order to get EU approval. If it's a particular type of ingredient. Okay. It doesn't happen often, and it's for new things that maybe haven't been used in cosmetics before. But it's been expensive, A, so the prices are coming down, but B, it's just not just for animal testing, but it's for anything. Say you want to find a claim, like how many people thought this was moisturizing? You don't have to bring humans in. You'll be able to use this model. And the way they're developing them is with AI, so that I'm not going to get, you know what, I lost you. But I'll just say AI. I'm not going to get into how the machine learns and tries and whatever.
You didn't lose me. I just literally adjusted in my seat.
I thought you'd like, though, that this is going to be the reason I think that we'll finally be done with the animal testing for safety.
I certainly hope so. And I do question whether or not these companies have to, or it's them staying with what
they're not going to get like EU approval for sale on their new ingredient as a cosmetic.
But I'm not saying that the companies can bypass that. I'm talking about the regulatory bodies.
Right. Well, no, it's also that they just don't want to do the work. They're like, give me what I know, which is this study, and then I can approve it.
That's what I mean, yeah.
The slightly only naughty thing I'm going to say about AI, did you see the most recent Vogue digital cover? It literally just came out last week.
I did.
Here's the thing about AI that I don't love it for. I love it in the science stuff. I still am wary of it in art. And here's why. When people looked at that cover, a lot of people are like, it's giving AI. And it's funny to me that it wasn't developed by AI, but it's become synonymous with kind of regurgitated, slightly.
That cover was not AI, correct?
It wasn't.
Yeah.
But like, it's funny to me that people called that out because AI does create these kind of images that are just derivative, frankly. Say what you will about that cover photo.
I think there's a lot of other problems in AI besides being a derative, and AI and art being derivative.
Right. So I don't want to give it all nice because, as you know, with this franchise Jess and I have developed, it's always naughty with a little bit of nice. So I'm curious to see how artists will use AI going forward, but I'm giving a nice to how scientists and beauty are using AI.
I hope it's used for good. So how about that?
Yup.
That's my final thought on that. Okay. Let me do a nice because I feel it. Did I do? Oh, I already did a nice. Okay. I'll do another nice. Why not? I really think Demi Moore is just getting better with age.
Wait, you started out with Lindsay Lohan. I was talking about her face as a naughty, but now we're just equally objectifying Demi Moore and saying she looks better.
No, because I thought her project, The Substance, was really. I think brave is one of those words. It's like, you're so brave. And it's like, you didn't like strap on some like boots and go into like the Ukraine. Okay. Like she's not brave in that way.
Okay.
But I thought it was a really cool movie, a really cool topic. And yeah, like, is she still a gorgeous woman who's clearly
genetically blessed?
I was trying to find like a nice way to say like she's genetically blessed and she's had some help. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Genetically blessed and she's had some help. I don't think I'm going too far by saying that. But I think she tackled a topic that we talk about all the time, even like 5 minutes ago on this episode, of like, it's really complicated to age as a woman. I think the beauty industry is incredibly hypocritical. And The Substance, if you haven't seen it, you can get it on Amazon Prime. And I think it might be in theaters too. I don't know, maybe select theaters, but it's easy to stream. It's a cool movie. It's directed by a woman. I also think that definitely has a hand in how the subject matter is dealt with. And it talks about how women are discarded in entertainment, but just like in visual fields. And I think it's cool. And I don't think you see a lot of that done in a really tasteful way. And then the genre is like body horror, which is
Garrett and I have talked about this multiple times over the year. Not just this, but also when we were talking about Sunset Boulevard and a bunch of other creative endeavors this year that spoke to that moment for a woman when the beauty is waning, culturally speaking.
So like what is your value as a woman once your currency, which no one likes to talk about, what part of your currency, certainly I don't believe that your currency is your look, but cultural currency, especially in entertainment, is waning. So I'm looking at this and I don't like stuff like gore. I don't like weird body horror stuff. I was like, how am I going to watch this? But I was like, I'll put my hands over my eyes for some of it. So I felt like it was important for the show. So for you guys. So I'm like,
she did it for you.
I did. I was like, I need to see what's going on. And I'm looking, I was like, oh my God, I'm not giving anything away, but I was like, things happen to her body that are very surreal, very surrealist. And watching it, and I'm like, this is horrible. I'm like, there's needles. And I'm like, wait a second. And I don't think I'm reading too deep. I think it's like, Jess, this is the point. Look at what people do to themselves every second of the day in the name of beauty. Yeah. Cutting themselves open, getting the needles, having a thing injected into your lip. It was so thought-provoking. And I just hope we see more of this sort of thing. Maybe not The Substance too, but like just more of this subject matter and more. We see, great actresses like Nicole Kidman keep turning out incredible work. More women just like, boom, going right into it. Like as I say age, what are they? 50s, 60s?
Yeah. I think it's funny, not funny, it's interesting that's juxtaposed with your Lindsay Lohan's, like two sides of the same coin. It's like the not nice aspect of objectifying the work people get done, but then this is the creative side where you're talking about the objectifying of the work people get done, and that you're going to give a nice to.
What do you mean?
Like the naughty is objectifying the work that gets done. The nice is being able to talk about the fact that we're objectifying it so we can unpack it together.
I think I'm not giving a nice to like Demi Moore's amazing like.
No, you're giving a nice
surgery.
To the cultural criticism.
Yeah. I'm giving a nice to like, yeah, she's going into these projects. She's like, oh, I'm not just gonna look amazing and go to premieres. She's doing her best work or some of her best work, and taking these topics head on. She's not just.
It's interesting those topics are so popular right now too, isn't it?
Yeah,
and for good reason.
And another, I'm going to put a little cap on it.
Yeah.
The other day.
A little Santa cap. Keeping it holiday.
I went to the Beauty Inc. Awards the other day. And the Pete Bourne, I think it was Impact Award. So basically the big award of the day was given to Bobby Brown. And I know I mentioned Bobby Brown the other day recently, so I feel like Bobby's getting a lot of airtime on the show recently. But Bobby got this award, and she was talking to Jenny Fine, and Jenny's like, "Oh, why are you doing so much? Or, you keep on doing all these projects. Like, what keeps you going? Blah, 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 blah. And what have you learned?" And Bobby said, "I've learned that age means nothing." And I loved that. And she was just talking about how she's doing her best work, but like 40.
Oh, I would say that as age means something. Age is great. It gives you experience. That's so funny that I framed that.
That was the follow-up basically to what, when she says age means nothing, that's basically, she's what?
But really, age means something.
Well, she's saying like age means you can take chances. Age means you've learned from your mistakes. Yeah. Age means that you can just plow into the next thing because you have all this wisdom. It's okay
if you're not over 30 yet. You're also valuable. Don't worry.
But it was, when I was thinking about this Demi thing, would she have said yes to a role like this when she was 40? I don't know.
Right.
So I want to see more.
More from more. Okay. You just did a nice. So then I guess, what'll I do? I'll have a nice too. Let's do a nice moment. Okay. 2024. Well, you took your sabbatical. I didn't even think of that. That was 24. This year has just flown by. But that introduced some new characters to Fat Mascaras. I had all these guest co-hosts come on. It was not our plan, but like, obviously we vibed with some of them. And then we have new contributors to the show, which I think is just making our show stronger. So I think what's really nice is what I've learned from two of our biggest new contributors, Garrett and Julie. I learned something from each of them. So I thought I would share a nice thing from Julie and a nice thing from Garrett. All right, you ready? From Julie, the thing that I learned this year that literally comes up in my house almost every day. You know when you hear a thing and then you're just like, it's just now this is part of my life and I'll never forget it. It's this concept of Lufen that she told us about maybe once or twice over the year, which is a Swedish concept, not unlike hygge, which is when you're cozy and you got your hot cocoa by the fire. Mm-hmm. Lufen is when you open the windows in winter in your bedroom and let the cold, icy air in, but you seal off the bedroom. So that's only happening in the bedroom. And then you're in your house, whatever, and it's time to go to bed. You go in your bedroom and it's like bracing in Arctic, but you have the biggest comforter ever. So you get under the sheets and the air is cold, but it's fresh, but you're under the sheets. Lufen. In fact, I say this is nice. I texted her last night because I was talking about it with Eric again, and I keep calling it Luftwaffe. And I was like, wait, I think that might be the World War II German Air Force. So she finally left me like an audio voice message pronouncing it so I would get it right. Lufen. So Lufen. Very nice. Thank you.
Straight Lufen.
And then straight Lufen. And then the other nice thing, I was like, what do I say from Garrett? Because now I got to do one from Garrett. And there's been tons of things. But I think more generally, it's been helpful to me to have a male perspective on some of the beauty trends we talk about. It's really like opened my eyes to the way gender plays a role in the way you think about them. But also this conversation that has come up with you a lot, which is the one about the plastic surgery and maybe aging. And I don't know why that's so timely, maybe because Garrett just turned 40, we're of a certain age, but also just the plastic surgery has become so much more available. Seeing his take on it all has really helped put it in perspective that it's okay to talk about. We're not objectifying people. We're reporting on the thing that's happening in the world, and that's okay. And so I value that so much. So those are the two nice things.
Did you not want to talk about it before?
No, it's almost like when you hear a woman talking about a woman's body, it can get catty in a way sometimes. I don't know how else to explain it, but when I talk, sometimes when Garrett talks about it, and as Garrett pointed out on last week's episode, he's like, I got to tell you something. And I thought he was going to like say he got some surgery that I didn't know. And I was like, of course I would know. He tells everybody, he's like, I don't think I've ever seen a vagina. Like he said it like it's like he doesn't think about the woman's body in a sexual way. So he's able to give this really great perspective on both what's going on in the culture, but also not from a judgy place. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah, I get it.
It was so funny. I had to stop recording because I was laughing so hard. I was like, you don't think you've seen one? Like, I feel like you would know, Garrett.
Was this during the puffies, the puffy conversation?
Well, we were talking about Lady Puffs. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so just both of their perspectives have been so great to add to the show. So before we take a quick break, let me just say thank you to them. They're both nice. They're both on my nice list. All of our contributors and guest co-hosts this year on our nice list. Okay, we'll be right back after this.
All right. I have like a little baby naughty. It's just like a little baby naughty. It's not that bad.
Spicy. Okay.
But I just can't get I can't get with all the like, this is in, this is out. I kind of lost my mind when it was like, mascara is now out.
Says the woman in the middle of the naughty and nice episode, which is literally the ins and outs of the year.
That is kind of meta, right?
Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
No, but it's like, but I'm not telling you this is in or this is out. These are like, this is like more philosophical.
Yes.
Have we ever gone on this show and been like, all right, ladies, it's time to toss your bronzer? Like, no. The TikTokization of the beauty world has now made people feel badly about 1/4 of the things in their makeup kit. Because it's like, they're not even sure, or put a question mark over it. It's like, is Urban Decay Naked Palette in or is it out? Mascara in or spiky eyeliner, eyeshadow's in. Wait, no, it's gonna make me look. It's like crazy. And fashion too. Like, I just heard that skinny jeans are like back again. I'm so like my head is spinning. My head is spinning.
The micro trends of it all. My friend Lara's coming this weekend. She comes every holiday and they stay with us for one. She's like, I'm wearing my skinny jeans in Brooklyn. I don't want to hear anything about it.
Oh my, no, you're going to laugh. A friend of mine said the same thing about, are these cool? And I was like, I'm not sure, but go with it. Go with God. It's fine. And, the thing is, I actually love TikTok. Like, I love TikTok beauty. I love to know what's good. I love to know people are buying. It helps, It informs me with my job. I love to watch, like, it was funny, we were just talking about Trinity before. I love to watch her do her thing. I like to watch other creators talk about what they're doing. So I have nothing against TikTok beauty. What I am concerned about is people who feel, for a number of factors, like bad or second guess their own collection of makeup that they've spent hundreds,
does it make you feel
thousands
good?
of dollars.
Freaking wear it.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't want this chemistry of creator to person to viewer to make them feel like they're out of touch, out of style, or like soon to be out of money because of a video they saw. If you feel good and you like your purchase and you feel pretty, or you bought this or your mom bought it for you, whatever, and that feels nice, keep it.
And turn off TikTok until you're ready to make another decision.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know, that cycle, and the same thing is happening with fashion. Probably, I don't know, maybe not to the same degree. Maybe it is. I don't know. But we don't, the planet and your wallet probably cannot handle the pace that we're at.
Yeah, that's a naughty. It's a little naughty.
I said little naughty, and now I'm like, little naughty. It's a big naughty.
No, my naughty kind of is on, it's speaking to that, because I think we couldn't talk about 2024 and ignore how social media plays into trends, or just social media trends in general. The one that I picked up on is a naughty. I gave the name, because I like to name things, ancestral beauty. So I feel like,
what does
here's
that
the
mean?
thing. So like clean beauty was something we talked about probably on a Naughty and Nice episode 5 years ago, but everything is clean beauty now. I don't think you can launch a brand that doesn't hit all of the, like, it's vegan, it's clean at Sephora, it doesn't have paraben sulfate. It's almost like a non sequitur that people is non sequitur the want. It's just a thing people want.
It's like a non-starter.
Non-starter. Thank you. That's the word I wanted. So there is always this element in the beauty culture of people more on the fringe, or maybe forward thinkers or pushing things, who just, clean. I see you're clean and I will up that one level too.
Oh.
I'm not even going to involve chemistry or the labs or synthetics. I'm going to make my own stuff. For example, Nara Smith, who was huge this year. The TikTok influencers, there's a lot like her where they look all beautiful, pull out a big old bowl and whip up toothpaste or sunscreen, or
I don't know if I want that.
I'm putting this all in the naughty.
Okay.
It's up to you, but the New York Times reported on this in July, on Nara Smith specifically, because she was making sunscreen, which is very hard to make sunscreen that works in your kitchen, just saying. They quoted a vice president-elect of the Society of Cosmetic Chemists who basically said, baking, yeah, you can follow a recipe you find online or on the back of the box. Cosmetics, yeah, it's a recipe, but it's not like that and much more difficult to follow. Because experts are kind of like nervous about all of this.
Yeah.
Going to more on that, I'll give you another example. Beef tallow. Again, to me, this was like clean beauty, like up to like raw beauty levels of like, now I'm just going to put hopefully purified beef tallow on my face.
I can't believe I didn't put this on my naughty. I think my mind blocked it out so hard.
Yeah. So I wrote about this for The Cut.
I know, I saw.
The derms, they're not super worried about the comedogenicity and like, yeah, maybe it'll be great for your skin. It's a moisturizer. Humans have been using it for thousands of years. You know what? When humans raised a cattle on the land and had to use every part of it and there wasn't other alternative. So to me, that argument just doesn't fly with the beef tallow. Sorry. And then the last one I was thinking about was this raw milk thing that's been happening.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
I've seen it, but I'm not like paying close attention.
I guarantee you it's going to move into the beauty space. If we already have beef tallow and making our own sunscreen, there's going to be raw milk moisturizer coming. I'm sure of it. But it's on my naughty list because y'all, you just have to be careful. There's a big farm. It's called Raw Farms. They just got pulled from, they're sold at Erewhon. Their milk is used in Erewhon smoothies. They just got pulled because some of their milk tested positive for avian flu. So I get the idea that you want to, I think the idea is that you want to be safer and healthier and you can't trust big corporations. But if you go the route of doing it yourself with these things I just gave the example of, that also doesn't mean safety and healthfulness automatically.
I think people have this kind of like pastoral kind of fantasy about anything that feels small, homegrown. No.
Softly lit.
Yeah.
It's in a mason jar.
Yeah.
I squeezed it with canvas. I had a chalkboard label. It is comforting and it feels like it's a simpler time, like when we didn't have to worry about, like I'm literally talking about AI and we're talking about plastic surgery and all this. I see why this trend has popped up. I'm not surprised in the least, but it makes me nervous for like health reasons. Yeah. So I give it a naughty.
All right.
I think we've yapped our trends at you, but I do have one more nice surprise.
Oh, I see it in the bag. I see it in the bag.
Let me pull this out. Let me just pull this out. It's a little audio that I'm going to drop right here. A little nice surprise for the well, it's for me and Jess, but you have to hear this. Yeah, okay, I'm just going to play it. Here it is.
Hi, Jen and Jess. It's Jen. I just wanted to say thank you for coming to Lola V's spa event and for your kind words on the Fat Mascara podcast, which I love. I laughed when you called the treatments a couples massage. And yeah, by the way, great idea for our next event. I also heard the voicemails you left for me on the phone from the spa. And I'm so happy to hear that you love the Glossing Detangler as much as I do. And I promise I will never stop making it. I promise. Okay, I'm also hoping to come on Fat Mascara and get to talk to you guys soon in person. And I fully agree with you. Keep doing what you're doing. Talk to you later. Bye.
Okay. Can I just say
dead?
Can I just say okay, dead. First of all, dead. First of all, second of all, dead. Okay, third of all, I looked at my phone one day and I saw like a chat pop up in my Instagrams and I saw like a little Jennifer Aniston head and it was like Jen
audio message.
Yeah, and I was like, what? And I thought that it was her, like that she had started a live broadcast for her fans. And I looked and it was just Jen, me, and Jen. And I was like,
yep.
What? And I clicked play and I heard her talking to us. And I was like, oh, this is not a broadcast channel, baby.
Can you guys believe that? We were so tickled.
So amazing.
Screamed so loud. I banged my fist on and my dog like went running. He was like, what's going on? I was like, well, Jennifer Aniston just called me. So that's what's going on. Jen, we love you. We love your line. I think we should just end 2024 with a little wish for 2025. Little something coming maybe in the new year.
I don't even know what I did. I was so excited. So yeah, you're amazing. Jennifer Aniston, love your films. Love your
everybody
style.
Send good energy out of like for 2025. Things
and love your hairline. Lola V, the Glossing Detangler.
Things could happen. Okay. So, like we said, we're going to do some amazing replays. We're going to get so much beauty sleep over this holiday break, aren't we?
I hope so. I guess we'll see. See how I show up on Jan.
No, we're going to sleep for 2 weeks.
Filter.
Jess, you're on my nice list, as always.
You're on my nice list, and all of our listeners are too. Thank you for sticking with us. This has been fun. I cannot believe it's been a year, Jen. You made it fly by.
All right,
Get that
everybody.
beauty sleep.
See you in 2025.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
It's your reviews and feedback that help us make the podcast even better. Head over to iTunes to rate and review us, or email your thoughts to info@fatmascara.com.
We also want to answer your beauty questions and hear what products you love. To share a Razor One product review or to ask a beauty question, email us at info@fatmascara.
If you send it as a voice memo file, we can even share your voice on the podcast. You can also do that by leaving us a voice message. Our phone number in the United States is 646-481-8182.
Thanks so much for listening.